Have you ever found yourself lying awake in the stillness of the night, your mind racing through the countless interactions of your day, searching for that elusive feeling of being truly seen, heard, and valued? That profound, almost aching desire to walk through your life with an unshakable sense of confidence, to remain calm and composed under the immense pressure of daily challenges, to feel secure in the decisions you make, and to stand grounded in your own truth no matter what others might think or say. In a world that has become increasingly obsessed with superficial appearances and quick-fix solutions, where social media feeds are curated to perfection and everyone seems to be chasing the next fleeting trend, this type of genuine, lasting confidence can feel incredibly rare, almost completely unreachable, as if it were a mythical state reserved for a select few. But what if I were to tell you that this true, enduring confidence does not, in fact, come from any form of external validation, approval, or accumulation of achievements, but rather emerges from a deep, unshakable foundation within yourself? And what if I revealed that the complete blueprint for building this foundation has existed for over 2,000 years, meticulously refined and practiced by some of history's most resilient and clear-minded thinkers? Welcome, my friend, to what I sincerely believe is the ultimate Stoic guide to building a confidence that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. This is not about cultivating arrogance, ego, or a sense of superiority over others. Stoic confidence is quiet, firm, and deeply rooted in profound self-knowledge and authentic inner strength. It is built through daily discipline, unflinching clarity of thought, and the consistent practice of aligning your actions with your core values, rather than with the ever-changing opinions of others. In this comprehensive guide, we will explore together how the ancient, time-tested wisdom of Stoicism can empower you to let go of fear, to silence the persistent voice of self-doubt, and to cultivate a mindset that remains steady and unwavering even in the face of failure, criticism, or adversity. Are you truly ready to discover the kind of confidence that nothing and no one can shake? Then let us begin this transformative journey together. What if I told you that right at this very moment, something massive and significant is brewing in the depths of your life? A shift so powerful and profound that it has the potential to change everything you currently know about yourself and your place in the world. Most people, unfortunately, miss the subtle signs of this impending transformation. They ignore them, brush them aside as mere coincidences, and continue living their lives as if nothing of importance is happening. But if you are here, reading these words, something within you already knows, on a fundamental level, that change is coming, and it is going to be monumental. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, operates in intricate patterns and cycles, constantly sending signals to those who are awake and aware enough to receive them. These are not random coincidences or meaningless occurrences. They are deliberate messages, carefully orchestrated events designed specifically to prepare you for what is coming next in your journey. The problem, however, is that the majority of people are too distracted by the noise of daily life, too comfortable in their familiar routines, or too afraid of the uncertainty that change brings to recognize these powerful indicators when they appear. But today, right here and now, we are going to uncover together the 8 undeniable signs that something truly life-changing is about to happen to you. If you have been feeling that something is different, that the universe is trying to tell you something important, then I urge you to pay close attention. These signs could very well be your final wake-up call, the confirmation you need that your old life is ending and that something extraordinary is beginning to emerge. The first sign is perhaps the most profound and unsettling. You feel a deep, persistent sense of restlessness. Have you ever woken up one day with the startling realization that everything around you suddenly didn't make sense anymore? The job you once worked so hard to obtain now feels strangely meaningless, as if every task you complete is merely busy work designed to keep you from discovering your true purpose. The people you once enjoyed spending time with suddenly seem distant and disconnected, as if you no longer belong in the same space as them. Conversations that once energized and uplifted you now feel shallow, draining, and devoid of genuine connection. Your daily routine, something that used to provide you with stability and comfort, now feels more like a prison, trapping you in a life that no longer fits who you are becoming. There is this unsettling feeling growing inside you, an itch you cannot quite scratch, a deep and overwhelming sense that you are meant for something more, something greater, but you cannot quite figure out what that something is. This is not mere boredom or a simple loss of interest in certain activities. This is something much bigger, much more significant. This is your soul rejecting the life you have outgrown. It is a signal from the universe, a whisper from your higher self, telling you in no uncertain terms that the world you have been living in is no longer meant for you. This restlessness is the first and most crucial sign that a major shift is about to take place. And if you choose to ignore it, I promise you, it will only grow louder and more persistent. At first, this feeling can be incredibly confusing. You might find yourself questioning your own sanity. Why do I suddenly feel this way? Is there something wrong with me? Have I become ungrateful for the blessings in my life? But the truth is, nothing is wrong with you. In fact, everything is aligning for your highest good. Your spirit knows when it is time for a transformation long before your conscious mind does. That is precisely why you feel so uneasy, why the things that once brought you comfort now feel suffocating and constricting. Here is the extreme part that most people never realize. If you continue to ignore this restlessness, life itself will start forcing you to change. You will experience unexpected losses, sudden failures, and see things you once relied on crumble right in front of your eyes. Not because life is inherently unfair, but because it is pushing you out of a chapter you were never meant to stay in. The universe simply will not let you remain stuck when something greater is calling you forward. You might start feeling a deep frustration with yourself. You know on some level that you are capable of so much more, but you do not know where or how to begin. That is when fear begins to creep in, the fear of the unknown, the fear of leaving behind the comfort of what is familiar, the fear of disappointing others who expect you to remain exactly as you are. But here is what you need to understand, and understand deeply. This restlessness is not a curse. It is a gift. It is proof that your destiny is bigger than your current reality. It is the first crack in the wall that has separated you from the life you were truly meant to live. So do not fight it. Do not numb it with distractions, entertainment, or temporary pleasures. Do not drown it out with busyness or convince yourself that you should simply be grateful for what you have and stop wanting more. Embrace this feeling fully because it is not here to break you. It is here to set you free. The second sign often feels like the most painful. You are losing people rapidly from your life. Have you ever noticed that just when you feel like something within you is shifting, the people around you start disappearing? Friends you once trusted implicitly suddenly stop calling or reaching out. People you thought would always be there for you begin to act distant, cold, or even openly hostile. Some leave without any warning, walking away from years of friendship without offering any explanation. Others slowly fade away until one day you wake up and realize they are just gone, as if they were never truly a part of your life at all. At first, this can feel like brutal rejection, like abandonment. You ask yourself repeatedly, what did I do wrong? Why is this happening? You replay conversations in your mind, searching for a reason, an explanation, some way to make sense of this sudden exodus of people from your life. You might even reach out, trying desperately to repair relationships that seem to be breaking for no apparent reason. But the truth is, this is not happening to hurt you. It is happening to prepare you. When something big is about to happen in your life, the universe begins clearing the path. It removes distractions, negativity, and most importantly, people who no longer align with your future. Not everyone is meant to go where you are going. Some people are only meant to be part of a certain chapter in your story, and when that chapter ends, so does their role in your life. This is the part that most people struggle with immensely. They try to hold on with all their might. They chase people who have already walked away. They try to revive dead friendships and fix relationships that are breaking apart naturally. They exhaust themselves trying to maintain connections that no longer serve anyone involved. But what they fail to realize is that holding on to the wrong people can actually delay your destiny. Here is where it gets extreme. Some people will betray you right before your breakthrough. You will see sides of them you never expected to see. They will suddenly become jealous, unsupportive, even cruel. Why? Because deep down they can sense your growth even before you do. And rather than celebrating it, they feel threatened by it. They know that the version of you they were once comfortable with is disappearing, and they cannot handle the fact that they will not have the same place in your life anymore. These people might start spreading rumors about you, questioning your decisions, or trying to pull you back into old patterns that no longer serve you. They might become critical of your dreams, dismissive of your goals, or openly skeptical of your potential. This behavior is not about you, it is about their own fears, their own limitations, their own inability to grow alongside you. But here is the lesson you must take to heart. Losing people is not a punishment, it is a filter. It is the universe's way of making sure that only the right people remain when your life changes. Imagine trying to climb a mountain while carrying dead weight. That is exactly what it is like to drag people with you who are not meant for your next level. Some friendships and relationships can only survive when you stay exactly the same. The moment you begin to grow, evolve, or change direction, those connections will inevitably start to crack. And that is perfectly okay, because real connections, real friendships, real love, they will always evolve with you. The people who are truly meant to be in your life will support your growth, celebrate your changes, and grow alongside you. So if you are losing people right now, do not panic, do not chase after them, do not beg for explanations or try to convince them to stay. Instead, trust the process. The people meant for you will stay, and the ones who leave were never part of your final destination. Let them go with grace, because when something big is about to happen, the universe makes sure you have the right people standing beside you when it does. The third sign is both mystical and undeniable. Strange synchronicities keep happening around you. Have you ever felt like the universe is trying to send you a message? You glance at the clock and see 11:11 or 3:33 over and over again, far more often than statistical probability would suggest. You hear a random word in a conversation, and then suddenly that same word keeps popping up everywhere, on television, in a book you're reading, in a stranger's conversation at the coffee shop. You think of an old friend you haven't spoken to in years, and within minutes they call you out of the blue. At first, these occurrences might seem like mere coincidences, but deep down, you know they are not. Something bigger is at play here, something beyond what your logical mind can easily explain. This phenomenon is called synchronicity, and it is one of the most powerful signs that your life is shifting in a significant way. These are not random events. They are signals. The universe, God, your higher self, whatever you choose to believe in, is trying to get your attention. It is aligning events, numbers, people, and messages in a way that only those who are truly awake and aware can recognize. The more you start noticing these synchronicities, the closer you are to a major breakthrough. But here is where it gets even more fascinating. The more powerful the change coming into your life, the stronger and more frequent these signs become. At first, it might start small. A repeated number here and there, a familiar song playing at just the right moment, a dream that feels unusually real and stays with you for days. But if you keep ignoring them, they will get louder and more insistent. The numbers will become impossible to ignore. The coincidences will start feeling almost too perfect, as if life itself is orchestrating events to guide you towards something important. And that is exactly what is happening. When these synchronicities start appearing, Pay close attention to what is happening in your life at that exact moment. What were you thinking about when you saw that number? What decision were you about to make when that strange coincidence occurred? What question were you asking yourself when that unexpected message appeared? These are not random events. They are clues. Clues that you are either on the right path or being redirected to something even bigger and better. But here is the truth that most people never realize. Synchronicities are not just signs, they are invitations. The universe is not just showing you numbers and symbols for your entertainment. It is pushing you toward action, toward a choice, toward something that will change your life forever. And this is where most people get stuck. They see the signs, they recognize the patterns, but they do nothing. They keep living the same way, ignoring the fact that something extraordinary is unfolding right in front of them. When you ignore these signs, the opportunities that come with them start slipping away. The universe will only knock on your door for so long before it moves on to someone who is ready to answer. The synchronicities that could have guided you to your breakthrough become nothing more than interesting stories you tell at parties, missed opportunities that you look back on with regret. So if you are seeing strange synchronicities happening more and more frequently, do not brush them off as mere coincidence. Lean into them. Ask yourself, what is life trying to tell me? Because the truth is, you are being guided towards something bigger than you can currently imagine. The only question is, are you paying attention? The fourth sign often catches people completely off guard. Unexpected opportunities appear out of nowhere. Imagine this. You're going about your usual routine, and nothing seems particularly different. Then, out of nowhere, something unexpected happens. A random job offer lands in your inbox, even though you were not actively searching, and your resume is not even posted anywhere current. You meet someone by complete chance, maybe in an elevator, at a coffee shop, or through a friend of a friend, and they introduce you to a connection that could change everything. An idea suddenly pops into your head, an idea so powerful and life-changing that you cannot shake the feeling that it was placed in your mind for a reason. Maybe you wake up one morning with complete clarity about a business you should start, a book you should write, a place you should move to, or a person you should reach out to. The idea comes with such force and clarity that it feels less like ordinary inspiration and more like a divine download. At first, it feels almost unreal. You might think, this is too good to be true. Or you might hesitate, questioning whether you are really ready, whether you deserve this opportunity, whether you have what it takes to succeed. But here is what most people do not realize. These moments are not accidents. They are invitations. Life is opening doors for you, doors that could lead to your next breakthrough, your next level, your complete transformation. But here is the shocking truth. Most people ignore them. They get stuck in doubt, fear, and overthinking. They convince themselves they are not qualified, not ready, not worthy. They let the opportunity sit in their inbox while they debate whether they should respond. They let the business idea collect dust while they research every possible reason it might fail. They let the connection go cold while they work up the courage to make the call. And before they know it, the opportunity slips away forever. That is the part that makes this so extreme. Opportunities do not wait. When life gives you a golden ticket, it does not sit around forever waiting for you to gather the courage to take it. It presents itself, and if you do not step through the door, it closes. Maybe not forever, but long enough that by the time you are finally ready, the moment has already passed. The people who succeed in life, the ones who seem to have all the luck, they do not wait for the perfect time. They recognize the moment when it comes, and they act. They understand that preparation meets opportunity, but opportunity will not wait for perfect preparation. Think about it. How many times have you looked back and realized that a single decision, a single moment could have changed everything? Maybe you had a chance to start something new, but fear held you back. Maybe you met someone who could have helped you, but you did not follow up because you did not want to seem pushy. Maybe an idea came to you, but you ignored it, only to see someone else execute that same idea months or years later and achieve massive success. This is why you have to pay attention when opportunities appear out of nowhere. It is not luck, it is alignment. It means the universe is shifting things in your favor. It means you are being given a chance to step into a new reality, but only if you are willing to take the leap. So the next time something unexpected comes your way, do not overthink it. Do not let fear or self-doubt talk you out of it. Instead, ask yourself, what if this is the moment I have been waiting for? What if this is the sign that my life is about to change? Because the truth is, it very well could be, and the only thing standing between you and that breakthrough is the choice you make next. The fifth sign is subtle, but incredibly powerful. You feel a strange, compelling urge to do something completely new. Have you ever woken up one day with an unexplainable urge to do something completely different with your life? Maybe you suddenly feel like packing your bags and moving to a new city, even though you have no logical reason to leave where you are currently. Maybe you feel drawn to start a new project, something completely outside of your comfort zone, something you have never considered before, but that suddenly feels essential to your being. Or maybe, out of nowhere, you have this deep craving to learn something new, a skill, a language, a craft that never interested you in the past. You find yourself researching photography courses when you have never held a professional camera. You start looking into real estate licenses when you have worked in marketing your entire career. You feel pulled toward meditation retreats when you have never been particularly spiritual. You are drawn to writing classes when you have never considered yourself a writer. At first, it might seem random, almost bizarre. You might dismiss it as just a passing thought, something temporary that will fade once life gets busy again. Your practical mind kicks in with all the logical reasons why now is not the right time. You do not have enough money. You do not have the necessary skills. You do not even know if this will lead to anything meaningful. But here is what most people do not realize. These urges are not random. They are signals. They are messages from your intuition, from your higher self, from the part of you that already knows what is coming next, even before your conscious mind does. This is how true transformation begins. Your spirit knows when it is time for a change before your mind does. And when something big is about to happen in your life, you start feeling pulled toward things that align with that new reality. Here is where it gets extreme. Most people ignore these feelings. They brush them off as just a phase or wishful thinking. They let doubt take over. Why would I start this now? I do not have enough time. I do not even know if this will lead to anything. And because they overthink it, because they wait for logical reasons and perfect timing, they miss the opportunity entirely. Their future self was trying to guide them towards something important, but they were too caught up in present moment fears to listen. That is the difference between people who stay stuck and those who evolve. The ones who change their lives are the ones who listen to these inner promptings, even when they do not make perfect sense. They trust their instincts over their fears. They take action on inspiration, even when they cannot see the complete picture. Think about this. What if that sudden urge to move is not random, but a sign that your energy no longer matches the place you are in? What if that new project you are drawn to is actually the key to a future you cannot even imagine yet? What if learning that new skill is not just a hobby, but preparation for something that will completely change your life and livelihood? These thoughts, these urges, these sudden interests, they are not meaningless. They are breadcrumbs leading you toward your next chapter. Your soul is trying to prepare you for what is coming, giving you hints about the direction you should be moving, the skills you should be developing, the experiences you should be having. Here is what happens when you ignore them. Life will start forcing you to change. The discomfort will grow. The feeling of being stuck will intensify. The things you once enjoyed will no longer satisfy you. Because when your soul is ready to evolve, staying the same will start to feel unbearable. So if you are feeling an urge to do something new, pay attention. Do not wait for a logical reason. Do not wait for approval from others. Do not wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time rarely comes. These urges are whispers from your future self, calling you forward. The only question is, will you listen? The sixth sign is perhaps the most challenging. Obstacles are suddenly everywhere. You are moving forward, working towards something important, and then suddenly everything starts going wrong. The job opportunity you were excited about falls through at the last minute. The relationship you thought was solid starts to crumble for no apparent reason. The plans you carefully made begin to unravel one after another. Money problems arise out of nowhere. Health issues surface. Family drama intensifies. It feels like the universe is working against you, like no matter what you do, there is always something blocking your path. This is the moment where most people give up. They take these obstacles as a sign that they are on the wrong path, that they should quit while they are behind, that maybe their dreams were unrealistic after all. But here is what you need to understand. This is not a coincidence. It is a test. Right before something big happens in your life, obstacles will appear. Struggles will intensify. The universe, fate, God, whatever you believe in, is not trying to stop you. It is trying to see if you are truly ready, because change does not come easy. Breakthroughs do not happen without resistance. And the bigger the blessing that is coming, the bigger the test you will have to pass. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how the hardest moments in life often come right before a major turning point? It is like life is making you prove how badly you want it. Will you push through when things get difficult, or will you give up the second things get hard? Most people choose the easy way out. The moment things start falling apart, they take it as a sign to quit. They tell themselves, maybe it is just not meant to be, and they retreat back to their comfort zone. That is exactly why they never get to see what was waiting on the other side of the struggle. They never discover what would have happened if they had just held on a little longer, pushed through a little harder, maintained faith when everything seemed to be falling apart. But here is the extreme truth. Every obstacle you are facing right now is not a dead end. It is a doorway. The universe is not blocking you. It is shaping you. It is removing what no longer serves you. It is teaching you the lessons you need to learn before you step into your next chapter. Because if everything were easy, if success and happiness and growth came without struggle, you would not be ready for it. You would not appreciate it. And worst of all, you would not be strong enough to handle it. Think of it like this. A diamond is not created without immense pressure. Gold is not purified without fire, and a stronger version of you cannot be born without struggle. Every setback, every delay, every painful challenge you are facing, it is not happening to you. It is happening for you. It is shaping you into the person who is ready for the breakthrough that is coming. The obstacles are also clearing away what does not belong in your new life. That job that did not work out, maybe it would have kept you in a comfort zone that prevented you from discovering your true calling. That relationship that ended, maybe that person would have held you back from becoming who you are meant to be. Those plans that fell through, maybe they were leading you in a direction that was not aligned with your highest good. So the next time everything feels like it is falling apart, ask yourself, what if things are not falling apart? What if they are actually falling into place? What if every obstacle is actually redirecting me towards something better? What if every closed door is making space for the right door to open? Because that is exactly what is happening. If you can endure the struggle, if you can hold on through the storm, if you can maintain faith when everything seems to be working against you, you will realize that what is waiting for you on the other side is bigger and better than you ever imagined. The seventh sign is both enlightening and disturbing. You start seeing the truth about people and situations with startling clarity. Something strange starts happening. You begin noticing things you never paid attention to before. Conversations that once felt normal now seem fake, filled with hidden agendas and unspoken resentments. You catch the small, insincere smiles, the forced laughs, the half-truths people tell without even realizing it. You start recognizing the hidden intentions behind their words, the jealousy behind their compliments, the manipulation behind their kindness, the competition disguised as support. It is as if a fog has lifted, and for the first time, you are seeing people for who they truly are, not who they pretended to be, or who you wanted them to be. This new clarity is both a gift and a burden, because once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. At first, this realization is deeply unsettling. You look around and wonder, have people always been like this? The answer is yes, but you were too distracted, too trusting, too caught up in your own life to notice. You gave people the benefit of the doubt. You interpreted their actions in the most generous light possible. You focused on their potential rather than their patterns. But now you see everything with brutal, unflinching clarity. The friends who were only around when they needed something from you, but disappeared when you needed them. The family members who secretly resented your progress and tried to sabotage your success with seemingly innocent comments. The relationships that were built on convenience, not true connection. The colleagues who smiled to your face but undermined you behind your back. It hits you like a punch to the gut. Some of the people you trusted most were never really in your corner. They may have genuinely cared about you in their own way, but they cared more about their own comfort, their own status, their own security than your growth and happiness. And it is not just people. Situations start looking different too. The job that once felt like a dream now reveals itself as a trap designed to keep you comfortable but not fulfilled. The relationship that once felt secure now feels draining, built on codependency rather than genuine love. The routines that once felt comforting now feel suffocating, keeping you distracted from your true purpose. You start questioning things you once accepted without thought. Why am I still here? Why am I still putting up with this? Why have I been ignoring these red flags for so long? Why did I make excuses for behavior that I would never tolerate from a stranger? This is the moment when your mind truly wakes up, and when it does, there is no going back. You cannot unsee the truth. You cannot pretend to be blind to what is right in front of you. You cannot go back to accepting mediocrity, toxicity, or half-hearted connections. And this is where the biggest shift happens, because clarity is the first step toward transformation. When you start seeing things as they truly are, you start realizing what needs to change. You start understanding that the old version of you accepted things that the new version of you simply cannot tolerate anymore. But here is the part that makes this extreme. This awakening is not comfortable. It is painful to realize that some of the people you loved were never truly for you. It is heartbreaking to recognize that certain relationships were built on lies, manipulation, or mutual need rather than genuine care. It is overwhelming to suddenly question everything you once believed in. That is why so many people try to fight it. They ignore the signs. They cling to toxic relationships because the alternative, being alone, feels scarier than being mistreated. They convince themselves that they are just being paranoid, that they are overthinking, that they should give people more chances. But fighting this clarity is like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube. It is impossible. Once you see the truth, you have two choices. You can either make the hard decisions to align your life with what you now know, or you can live in constant internal conflict, knowing the truth but refusing to act on it. Here is what you need to know. When your old reality starts breaking apart, it is not the end, it is the beginning. It is life making room for something greater. It is the universe clearing out what is fake so you can make space for what is real. So do not fight it. Do not cling to what is already falling away, because the moment you let go, the moment you embrace the truth instead of fearing it, that is when everything changes. That is when you step into the life that was meant for you all along. The eighth and final sign is perhaps the most powerful. You feel an unexplainable sense of peace amid the chaos. Everything around you seems to be falling apart. People are leaving, plans are crumbling. The things you once relied on no longer feel stable. Your old life feels like it is slipping away piece by piece, and yet you are not panicking. Somewhere deep inside, beneath all the uncertainty, beneath all the changes and struggles, there is a strange, unshakable sense of peace that you cannot explain but can definitely feel. Most people, when faced with chaos, feel lost, scared, and desperate to hold on to what is familiar. They fight against change with every fiber of their being. They try to control outcomes that are beyond their control. They exhaust themselves trying to keep their old life intact, even when that life no longer serves them. But not you. Yes, things are changing. Yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, there are moments of doubt and fear, but something inside you keeps whispering, "This is happening for a reason. Something big is coming." You may not have proof. You may not have a clear vision of what is ahead. You may not be able to explain it to others in a way that makes logical sense, but you do not need to, because you can feel it. And that feeling, that deep inner knowing, is your confirmation. That is your soul telling you that you are exactly where you need to be, even if where you are feels uncertain and uncomfortable. Think about it. How many times in life have you gone through a storm only to realize later that it was leading you somewhere better? How many times did things have to fall apart before something greater could fall into place? How many times did what seemed like the worst thing that could happen turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to you? This moment is no different. The struggles, the losses, the confusion, it is all part of the process. Everything is being rearranged for something bigger, something better, but only those who can remain calm in the storm will make it to the other side with their sanity and their faith intact. This is where most people fail. When life gets hard, when everything becomes uncertain, they let fear take over. They start doubting themselves, doubting the process, doubting the very forces that are working to guide them towards something better. Worst of all, they start trying to run back to their old life. They beg for things to go back to how they were, not realizing that their old life is exactly what is being cleared away for a very good reason. But you are different. Despite all the chaos, despite not knowing exactly what is coming next, you have faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith in the unseen forces guiding you forward. And that faith is what makes all the difference. Because while others are busy fighting change, resisting the unknown, and clinging to what is already gone, you are preparing, you are trusting, you are stepping into what is next with grace and confidence, even when you cannot see the complete picture. Here is what you need to understand. This peace you feel is not random. It is not an accident. It is a signal, a message from the deepest part of you telling you that you are exactly where you need to be. The storm is only temporary. The confusion will not last forever. And soon, sooner than you think, everything will start making sense. Because on the other side of this chaos, a breakthrough is waiting. A life bigger and better than the one you are leaving behind. The only question is, are you ready for it? If you are experiencing any of these signs, do not ignore them. Your life is shifting, and something incredible is waiting for you. The universe is always speaking to you through these signs, through synchronicities, through the people who come and go, through the opportunities that appear, through the obstacles that test your resolve, through the clarity that awakens your consciousness, and through the peace that sustains you through it all. The question is not whether change is coming. It is whether you are ready to embrace it. Are you ready to let go of what no longer serves you? Are you ready to trust the process, even when it is uncomfortable? Are you ready to step into the unknown with faith instead of fear? Because if you are, if you can recognize these signs for what they truly are, not random occurrences, but divine guidance, then you are about to witness something extraordinary. Your life is about to transform in ways you never thought possible. The only thing left to do is trust the journey and prepare for the breakthrough that is coming your way. Attraction is not just about how you look, it is about how you behave and how you feel about yourself. The most magnetic people in any room are not necessarily the loudest or the most conventionally beautiful. They are the ones who carry themselves with a quiet confidence, an inner peace that draws others to them like moths to a flame. This mysterious quality, this silent magnetism, can be cultivated through specific habits rooted in ancient wisdom that has stood the test of time. The philosophy of Stoicism, developed by ancient Greek and Roman philosophers, offers us a blueprint for developing this kind of silent attractiveness. These are not superficial tricks or manipulative tactics. They are profound principles that transform you from the inside out, making you genuinely more appealing to others while simultaneously improving your own quality of life. When you embody these principles, people are drawn to your energy, your presence, your very being, often without fully understanding why. What makes this approach so powerful is its authenticity. In a world full of people trying to impress others through external displays of wealth, status, or achievement, those who have mastered the art of silent attraction stand out precisely because they are not trying. They have developed an inner strength and peace that radiates outward, creating an irresistible magnetism that goes far beyond surface-level appeal. The foundation of this silent attraction lies in understanding that true confidence, genuine tranquility, authentic presence, unwavering integrity, disciplined self-control, heartfelt gratitude, honest humility, and patient endurance are not just admirable qualities, they are magnetic ones. People are naturally drawn to those who embody these characteristics because they represent stability, authenticity, and emotional maturity in a world that often lacks all three. In the next part of How to Build Confidence with a Stoic Mind, we will explore how you can develop these transformative habits, starting with the cornerstone of all attraction, genuine confidence. Stay stoic and please subscribe.